Hi, I'm Jack Draper. Shout out to QualityShot Tennis.
With the Monte Carlo Masters around the corner, we bring you another Beyond Data episode powered by Beyond Tennis. This is a really exciting video to go through. We're going to break it down analytically on what we can expect from the first clay court tournament of the year. And what a way to start it off as well in Monte Carlo. You can see the picture there, so beautiful on screen as well. A lot of players do live in Monte Carlo on the tour. So we're going to get into that as well. Before we do though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you are new, and also do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. On top of that, thank you to all our members. Your support is greatly appreciated, genuinely. And on top of that, please do subscribe if you're viewing. Over 80% of you still are not subscribed. Come on, guys, what's going on? What do I have to do? So do hit the subscribe button. Again, it's free, quick, easy, doesn't cost you anything. And it just means that we can alert you as to when new content comes out as well. Let's get into it then. So Monte Carlo is the first Masters 1000 tournament on the clay, the first of three. So Nadal is not present, as most of you will probably know. If you don't, well, I don't know where you've been hiding, but Rafa Nadal has won 11 titles. He also won 8 consecutively, which was ridiculous, and a run of 8 in a row. He's not there, so that's a big plus for the rest of the competition in terms of being able to have more of a chance of winning the Monte Carlo Masters. And you can see here his stats: 73 matches won out of 79 played. So he's only lost 4 matches at Monte Carlo. Unbelievable. 73 out of 79 is just phenomenal stats. Despite this, though, in recent years, Monte Carlo has been a tournament full of surprise and has been pretty unpredictable, which I think is fair to say, and we'll go into that in a second more specifically on this type of upsets as well. Probability of the final being played by top 2 players. You can see there's a chart here. This is really interesting because, and it might be to do with the fact that as the clay court swing goes on, you can see Monte Carlo is only around 25%, Madrid around 32%, Rome around 37, 38%. So as the clay court swing goes on, there's more chance of the top 2 players or top 2 seeded players playing in the final. But not just that, being played by 2 of the top 10 players is what this stat's showing us. So that's pretty surprising because you might expect it to be a bit more even then. But the fact that it's the 2 top 10 players, so that means it could be, for example, Djokovic is the number 1 seed, and it could be number 10 seed of, say, Taylor Fritz, for example, in the final. That's as an example off the top of my head. So Monte Carlo is the first one, so I guess you're going to see more upsets. People are still acclimatizing to the surface. Madrid, it goes up a percentage because people are now more used to it. And then at Rome, they're really starting to peak or trying to peak before Roland Garros, which is the tournament straight after Rome. So Rome is the last tournament, the last Masters 1000 tournament anyway, before the Slam. So in 2019, the 2019 edition, 43% of the matches had a result against the prediction or the predicted outcome. So in the 2019 version of or edition of Monte Carlo, 43% of the matches were surprises. I mean, that's just an incredible, phenomenal stat, isn't it? The probability of someone in the top 10 losing in the first round, Monte Carlo is at 8%, Madrid 6%, Rome at 5%. So again, similar trend, right? So Monte Carlo is the first Masters 1000, so that has the highest percentage of top 10 players losing in the first round because they're not as acclimatized. Madrid, a bit more, so they are a bit more used to the surface of the clay, so it goes down a notch. And then at Rome, not as much of a disparity, to be fair, between Madrid and Rome, just a 1%. It says, being the first major tournament on clay, even the best players often struggle to adapt to the surface, which is exactly what we've been talking about. And the biggest upsets in the last few years, well, interestingly, and you can see 3 out of the 5 are Djokovic losing, and Djokovic losing against anyone whose name is not, I would say, Nadal or Federer. It probably is it is a big upset. But these guys who beat him, I think, more of an upset. And then Nadal features twice on this list, so 2 out of his 4 losses to 2 players who he would have been expected to win pretty comfortably against, just given his record on the clay. So look at this. Djokovic in 2016 lost to Jiri Vesely in the second round. That was a massive upset in 2016, of course. Really big upset, especially because he won Roland Garros as well the year before, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a massive, massive upset. And I think, it's one of those things, like, you look at it and just think, well, in fact, sorry, he won Roland Garros in 2016. So that's a positive sign for Djokovic in that he could lose in the second round against Jiri Vesely in Monte Carlo, where, to be fair, historically, he hasn't had the best of results. He's only won it twice in Monte Carlo, but he still went on to win Roland Garros, beating Andy Murray in the final. So it clearly isn't a very good indicator of how his Roland Garros tournament is going to go anyway in the current year. He also lost to Dan Evans in the third round of 2021. That's a really big upset as well. Dan Evans is not a particularly accomplished clay courter. He's more comfortable on the quicker surfaces, likes to slice the ball a lot on the backhand side. So the fact that he lost to Dan Evans is a big upset as well. And then Nadal losing to Fognini in 2019. And you can see there's the odds there as well. So I guess proving how much of an upset it was. Semi-finals, he lost to Fabio Fognini in 2019. A really good win for the Italian, and also lost to Andre Rublev in 2021 as well. So Djokovic and Nadal both had upsets. And interestingly, Djokovic, 2016, 2021, both those times he went on to win Roland Garros, right? Because he won Roland Garros in 2021 as well, beating Tsitsipas in 5. Nadal against Rublev in 2021, quarterfinal loss. That was a big upset. Rublev played some really, really good tennis, lost to Tsitsipas in the final eventually. And then Djokovic lost to Davidovich Fokina, who now actually doesn't look like such a big upset because he made the final in the end, the Spaniard. And Djokovic also hadn't played a lot of tennis as well, to be fair, after not being able to play the Australian Open last year. So it was still an upset, but not as much as the others, which you can tell by the odds there as well. But second round was the round he lost to, which is just, which was the first round for Djokovic. He had a bye in the first round, of course. Davidovich Fokina, though, great win for him. So a couple of examples of upsets at the tournament. Players to watch. So we talked about it a little bit in our preview and prediction video for the tournament where I went through. Do check that out if you haven't done so already. Also, do check out episode 1 of Beyond Data, where we go into, and Tennis Beyond Beyond Tennis go into Medvedev and why he's so good on the hard courts, and using stats and facts to back that up. So you can see his Tsitsipas, despite having physical problems, he wants to win his third consecutive title. He won in 2022 and 2021, which is really impressive. He loves Monte Carlo. It's also, it's impossible, I think, to place him anywhere outside of the favourites, but he is struggling with his shoulder after having shoulder surgery this year. Rublev was a finalist 2 years ago. He's always played well in Monte Carlo, a tournament that, he played his career best match against Nadal, which we just talked about a minute ago. And for Dimitrov, semi-finalist last year, beating 2 top 10 players, has always been comfortable in Monte Carlo. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he does live there, but I could be wrong. And also a venue where Nadal has stopped him quite a few times, which I guess you could probably say about a lot of players as well. So some very, very interesting stats there. Now, as we're here and we're talking about stats, we may as well also look at some of the tennis insights bits here. So very quickly, recent form from the last 10 matches. So this is for some of the only really the top few seeds. So you can see here return quality, Medvedev and Sinner. Now this, you have to take this with a pinch of salt because it's on hard court, but it just shows you a little bit of the form going into it. Tsitsipas topping the serve category there. Medvedev and Sinner right at the top on return quality. Djokovic somewhere kind of in between on serve and return, kind of very balanced, you would say. Rune right at the bottom of serve and return quality, interestingly. But that will probably improve with the clay court, of course. Backhand and forehand quality here, you can see here Djokovic way in front on the forehand quality at 9.2. This is, of course, out of 10. And Sinner way in front on the backhand quality at 8.1. Rune again below, like very, very low down. Forehand and backhand quality at 7.4 and 7 respectively on the forehand and backhand. And then if you look at steal percentage, so percentage of points that a player will win after being on the defense throughout the point, so they're not expected to win it. Medvedev 40%, which is incredible. And conversion is the percentage of points that you win when you're on attack, when you're controlling the point and you're attacking. 76% Djokovic. He's way in front there. I mean, he's a good 4% in front of Medvedev, who's also second in that category, which is really impressive. And then lastly, baseline battle and in attack. So you can see here, baseline battle, Djokovic winning 60% of the baseline exchanges against opponents. For in attack, though, so this is the percentage of points that they're trying to be on the front foot. Rune is actually tops this stat, which is interesting because all the other stats, he's towards the back end, towards the bottom. So I wonder whether that means he needs to tweak his style a little bit. 26% he's been trying to attack it. Well, 26% of points he's been trying to attack in. For Tsitsipas, 25%. So a couple of interesting stats there as well. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, do check out the Beyond Tennis, platform as well. They have some really interesting stats. Then also do check out Tennis Insights on Instagram if you haven't done so already, or Twitter. That's where I got the Tennis Insights, of course, from as well. But thank you very much, guys. Really looking forward to Monte Carlo, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity to share some of the data and stats that have been made available to us as well, and a great partnership as well with Beyond Tennis. So, we have a lot more episodes coming out with our Beyond Data segment on the channel. So do check it out. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you in the next video.